You're now tuned in to The Twisted Truth with Corey Wesley, where everyday conversations take an unexpected turn. Entrepreneur, artist, author, and truth seeker, Corey Wesley is here to challenge the way we think, question the norms, and bring fresh perspectives to life, business, and beyond. With unfiltered discussions, special guests, and real talk, get ready for a show that's bold, insightful, and always a little twisted. Buckle up, because the truth isn't always what it seems. And now, here's your host, Corey Wesley. Well, welcome back to another episode of The Twisted Truth with me, the fabulous, the most handsome devil of all, Corey Wesley. Yeah! How y'all doing? I'm sipping out. I'm having me a little, what am I drinking tonight? I shouldn't be sharing that with you because we need sponsors, but I need the followers, and then I'm going to get liquor sponsors. But anyway, have y'all heard of something called kinky? Let's see. It's kinky. Kinky. I like this. I'm drinking the pink version. They call it pink. They give them colors. So anyway, Lord have mercy. What kind of friends do I have? You know, I'm not ready to date, I don't think, because I be hearing all these horror stories out here in the world. And so I have a friend. He's single and he is working very diligently on his sobriety. And I'm so proud of him. And he hasn't really been out there in the dating world. He's over 50. I'm 53. I think he's a little older than me. But he called me not upset, but just didn't know what to do about a situation. He had met someone. They seemed to have had a connection a couple of years ago, I would say last year or whatever. They hadn't seen each other, kind of ghosted each other. But I would say that I know some background information, but I ain't gonna give it all to you in advance. I'm gonna let y'all sit in it, suspicion and excitement and anticipation. That's the word I was looking for. Just sit and wait for anticipating what I'm gonna tell you. Let me give you a little background based on what my friend told me yesterday. So they ghosted each other, whatever. Hadn't heard from him, whatever, this person that he helps out with more than once. And my friend, he don't remember people. So he was like, I don't really remember, but he's in this new Zen stage of his life like me. And he decided he was going to go and meet this person because the person popped up out of nowhere. You know, it's very suspicious when somebody pops out of nowhere. They claim they miss you and all this stuff. Kind of weird, right? And so my friend just trying to open up his aura and his energy. And, I guess I wouldn't say because he didn't say it, but he's in the year of the yes. So he's saying yes to everything because there's, I don't know. I've asked him if he's looking for love and he's open to relationships, but has to be in the right context, blah, 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 blah. And I agree with that. So what happened was, I sound like what I'm talking about one of my girlfriends. And what happened was, so anyway, he chatted with this person. Now there's some signals or signs that my friend is suspicious that he has a boyfriend. Now I asked him, well, why do you think that? He said, well, the last time when we met, I really liked him. And because of certain situations in my friend's past, he Googled him. And people don't realize if you give people your real phone number, if you on social media, you got a digital footprint, they can find you. So he looked up and saw his address and saw that there was another person's name on the address. Now, yes, it could have been a previous tenant or resident of the location. I'm going to call it an undisclosed location. And my friends always call me I Spy because I am the king of finding out information about people. My friends be calling me and be like, "Wait, can you check this for me?" And I be laughing because I'm like, you can do the same thing, but they don't know how to do certain things. So I found the address for my friend. I have to be honest in that regard. I did do that for him. And there was another person. I said, well, I think he has a boyfriend. And needless to say, they didn't talk. So now he's popping up and saying I miss him. And my friend was like, well, I was going to meet him. And I said, okay, well, we'll just meet him and see. Maybe they broke up or whatever, because there was an incident that when they were supposed to go out one time before, a few months ago, um, I think my friend, as he said, he was contemplating partying, but then he realized in his gut that that would be the wrong path because he was working on his Friday. So he made up an excuse and canceled. And then the guy said something happened at his house or whatever. He couldn't come or something, whatever. And my friend was like, knew that this person didn't have any contacts for the party stuff. So he made up a story that he couldn't find it, whatever. I don't remember the whole story, girl, boy. I don't know. So needless to say, they didn't get together. But I said, well, maybe he had an argument with his boyfriend or something like that, and that's why. And then I don't know. Or maybe he's broken up. Because I said, well, why don't you, when you go to meet this person, ask him directly. Don't be scared. Shit, if you got a boyfriend and you don't want to be with people who have boyfriends, just be like, we could be friends. Needless to say, my friend said that he said he didn't have a boyfriend, but there were some signs because my friend told him prior to meeting that he was no longer partying. And the guy was saying, well, I told you I don't care about that. That's not really important. So needless to say, I said, well, when you meet him, you should tell him, hey, I like you too, but if you want to pursue dating, I don't party anymore. And I don't want to date someone or hook up with someone who has a boyfriend and find out if he's single. Yeah, he said the guy said he was single. And I said, cool. And he told him, I have a three date rule. And that is, if gay men, I say gay men, we do things backwards. We sleep with each other first and then we like each other and then we go dating. So I feel like because we do it that way, there's no wrong or right way. But since it is part of our culture and structure to sleep with each other first, I always say if you like someone, then you pull back and you kind of do a rewind, and then you don't sleep with each other for 3 dates, go on dates. Then after the third date or on the third date, you have sex again. At least you know how they act out in public. You've established maybe nighttime calls. You've established texting each other on a regular. Like you've established the things that the sex would confuse. Like, oh, do I really like this person? I don't even know him, but I'm sexually attracted to him. But am I attracted to them in public? Do they dress properly? Are they cute enough in the daylight with clothes on? And do they hear and respect the things that you're saying? Needless to say, my friend said, well, he kept touching me. And I said, well, okay, well, that's fine. You were kissing in public or whatever. That's fine. Now, I said, well, that means that he don't have no boyfriend. Because if he's kissing in public, now the person, one of my friend lives in Manhattan. This person lives, I think, in Queens or Brooklyn. I don't know where they live. That minus the details. Like I always say, it's not in the details. It's the issue at hand that we need to talk about. I don't care about the details. So, but I'm giving y'all context because I want to get to the story or the twisted truth of things about your gut and believing your gut and knowing that your gut is there to protect you. It is not there to lead you in the wrong direction. I always say your gut will always lead you in the right direction. And sometimes when we as individuals, we need validation. And I think sometimes because we feel it, we want to make it. want proof. So we set up the scenarios as he did, but he did it. I mean, I agree and I disagree with him, but he did it right. So he told the guy, let's do it in 3 days, blah, blah, blah. So they went for a walk or whatever. And then he said, the guy kept and it just being overly sexual, not really saying, oh, wow, I really like this guy. We're on a date. He's holding my hand. Like, wow, this is really great. He kept like, it's like pushing, not he didn't push, I guess, from my friend's point of view, but my friend felt like I was going to test him to see if he listened. Meaning, oh, about the 3 date thing that I'm the one, I'm responsible. I take accountability that I told him to kind of inject into the situation. And I think it does work. However, my friend then says, you want to go back to my place? And the guy was like, yes. And I was like, okay, warning sign. Because one, if you already told him that you don't want to do the same pattern and that you've always done, that you wanted to do the 3 date thing because you were interested in him, and he then opted to come home with you, even though you suggested it, that means that he did not believe you. That's my point. That's what I told my friend, right? So they get home, they get undressed, not really undressed from what he told me. He was like underwear or whatever. They hugged and kissed and did a little something, something. And then my friend exploded, but the other person didn't, from what I understand. I don't want to be graphic. I don't want to know details. I don't care what y'all did, right? So he says, now my friend, stupid as hell, said, I'm worried about your cat, because that's the other thing. The person made it clear that he had a cat at home and he had to make sure he fed him. Now, here's my thing. I am not an animal lover, and none of my friends really have animals, so I'm a little confused. Maybe y'all out there who got cats. I thought it was the dogs that you need to rush home to walk. I didn't know that with cats, you got to rush home and feed the cat. Well, maybe, yeah, my best friend told me, well, yes, that is because maybe you feed them a certain food at a certain time. But I thought, I don't know. I thought cats were a survival mechanism on their home. You put a little bowl with food in it, whatever. They go to it when they want to. And they don't eat all of the food at the time like a dog. And the dog needs to go to the toilet and they have cat litter. So I don't know the urgency of rushing home if you have a cat. Is that such a thing? In the comments, let me know, because I don't know. Is that a thing? So anyway, that was red flag 1. Well, 2, because he agreed to go home with him after my friend told him prior to meeting that he doesn't party, and they met on I think it was, what was yesterday? Monday? No, Tuesday? I don't know. What was yesterday? Oh, yesterday was Monday. Lord have mercy. I'm losing time. So anyway, it was a Monday. So nobody, he set it up, and I'm the one that helped him because I told him, well, you should meet on a Monday because the reason why Monday is right after the weekend, blah, 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 blah. So my friend who's not a cat lover or animal lover or anything was like, I'm so concerned about your cat. You said you had to feed him. And the guy was like, yeah, you're right. I should go. Red flag number 3. You're rushing out. You traveled all the way to my friend. My friend lives in Washington Heights. I live in Harlem. And that guy lives in Brooklyn, Queens. So he had to travel all the way. Okay, so you got to brush home for your cat? Okay, interesting. So my friend said the phone rang while the boy was in the bathroom. And he came out and said, oh, your phone rang twice. And he said, oh my God, who could that be? Now, if you know anything about me and you know anything about Corey Wesley, I have videos. I wrote about dating for decades. I ranked number 10 out of the country as one of the best dating blogs called All About Dating. And I have some old time videos about different scenarios that people do. And this is the one scenario that I have a video about that I say, if your phone rings after 11 and the first thing your partner says, do you want to get that? That's a damn mofo trap. You know why? Because I know who the heck is calling me. I won't say hell. It's calling me after 11. And then the telltale sign of a mouse caught in its trap is when you respond. Who could that be at this hour? You know who the hell is calling you. If you, so I told, that was red flag number 4. I said, that mother, oh, excuse my language, Lord, I'm getting so high. I hate people when they lie. I said, that's red flag number 4. And he rushing out. His man was calling because it rang twice, he said, right back to back. That's somebody looking for you. And you gave that cat excuse. He gave that cat excuse because he needed to go home to his man. So my friend was like, well, Corey, what do I do? Do I be shady and tell him, excuse me, that I don't have that you have a boyfriend, or I'm not really convinced that you have a boyfriend? I said, well, why you got to be shady? Doesn't your gut already tell you the answer? Now, I've already given you 4 red flags, and you still want to fool yourself into believing that maybe you wrong. No, you're not wrong. And no matter what this person says, I don't care. He's not showing you any regard. One, he disrespected you. Yes, you played. I always say, you got to take accountability. You played the game too. And yes, you could be wrong. There is a possible chance that you could be wrong. But I have a warning sign issue when you tell this person that, one, I got to backtrack, girls and boys, because I'm missing out a very important detail. So during the little, I don't know, I say jerky jerk section or the shake and bake section, but they didn't bake. They didn't do everything from what I understand. Again, I don't need to know the details, and neither do y'all, because I always say, mind your business when it comes to the details. Just get to the bottom, the bottom line, the point of the situation. And the point of the situation was, while they were having, like, the jerk session, my friend said he started to bring up party sex and asking, oh, do you want to do it? And that kind of turned my friend off because he's working on his sobriety. And the person said, he told him no. And the person said, oh my God, I'm embarrassed. And yes, you should be fucking embarrassed. The man told you he was working on his sobriety. Now you bringing him into a temptation moment, or you could be triggering him. Why would you want to date someone like that? Because he's, one, ignored anything you said. And yes, my best friend said, well, people lie and they don't tell the truth. Well, unfortunately, that's the problem with people who tell the truth. We get stuck, because I'm one who tells the truth. We get stuck in the category of, oh, he might be lying, because everybody thinks everybody lies. Everybody don't lie. Everybody tells the truth. And so what I would say to, like I said to him, my best friend, yeah, I get that, but you got to take people's face value. And when it comes with people's sobriety and people saying they're not doing drugs and stuff like that, if you then engage or bring sex, it's almost like an alcoholic and they say they're not drinking, and then they come to a party and they're comfortable enough to come to your party knowing that there's alcohol there, and you say, you want a drink? Are you a true friend? Are you a true person that you want to date that person? Would you? Really, I want to know, would you? Because if you do, here's a problem. So my friend was like, well, I should write him and tell him we need to have a serious conversation. I said, well, you could do that. Because my friend wanted to be shady. And I was like, well, let's be mature. Why do you need validation? Your gut is the reason why you're feeling this way. You're uneasy. The signs are there. I don't care if he told you to do till you blew in the face. I said, well, why don't you text him and see if he responds? Because he said, my friend said, well, I asked him, what does dating look like? He said, consistency, and we could talk on the phone. I said, okay. I said, well, what did you do? He said, well, when he left, because he left, scurried right away. And he said, well, generally I would walk someone home, not walk somebody to the train station or offer to help pay, split Uber for them to go somewhere, whatever. But this time I didn't, because I just was a little turned off that he even offered or suggested or assumed that I had drugs in my house after I told him that I don't do that anymore. And I said, well, I already told you that's a red flag. I said, well, why don't you just text this person? And the person's supposed to be going away out of the country, whatever. And I said, well, did you find out who he going with? And he said, oh, he said some girls, whatever. I said, see, that's all that safe point. Any man that say he going, some gay men just have a lot of girlfriends. I'm one of them. I have a lot of girlfriends. I get it. I really don't travel with them. I love them dearly. I love my girls, but I haven't really traveled with them. And if I have, it's been local to New Jersey or Philly to visit another friend. But I never did a sleepover. I mean, I have friends that have slept over at my house, whatever, but they've slept with my house because I'm the gay man and I'm a man, and I feel like my girlfriends, I'm a protector. They should be with me, whatever, if they're drinking or whatever. But I don't really travel with my girlfriends. I know some people do, and it's always a warning sign for me when they're gay friends. Like he don't know bars. He didn't know what bar. My friend said he didn't know what bar that he was at. It was a popular bar. He doesn't seem like he goes out that much. I'm like, because he got a boyfriend. And usually most single gay men live in Manhattan. Not all. I get it. And if they don't live in Manhattan, they got roommates. Because we want expendable cash so we could travel and buy fancy clothes and live like this. So I was like, oh, well, I'm turned off too, because if you told him that you're not doing party drugs anymore, and now he's saying it to you during sex, that's a problem, because people don't understand. And I wrote a book about this, The Functional Addict. You can read about it. You can get it on Amazon. It's called about the struggles of a functional addict. You can get it on Amazon by Wesley. There are functional addicts, right? That they don't lose their jobs. They don't go all out of rail. They don't hit rock bottom, so to speak, but they maintain it. Just like somebody who can drink, this person parties with little stuff, and then they can still go to work on time. They do their things. They might not be working at the top level that they need to be working at, but they don't have this normal signs of an addict, right? But what I'm saying is that if you associate drugs with sex, right, and now it takes a long time to deprogram yourself in your mind state, if that's what you always did during sex in an engagement like that, it takes a long time to kind of reverse that, right? And if my friend, as he said, he was surprised, he used this as a buffer to see if he could feel something without partying. And he said he was successful, which I'm very happy for my friend. Yay, let's applaud. Because he had a boundary. He didn't fall into a temptation trap. He wasn't tempted. And I'm very proud of him in that regard, because that's an accomplishment. And that also means, because he was able to explode, and I was like, he was giving me too much detail. And I was like, boy, I don't want to hear all that. But he said he exploded so intensely, which is a sign that he no longer associates drugs with sex. And what happens is, if that person then brought that topic back in, it could just instantly F up what this person has worked so hard and intensely to eliminate and dissociate from, that you could re-engage, reassociate something that my friend has worked so intensely on, that I feel like, bye girl, And so I told him, why don't you write him an email because he's going out of the country. Let him know that you want to chat with him when you get back. Because my friend wanted to do something shady and say, oh, did you get home safe? I'm glad you got home safely so you can feed the the cats. I said, boy, why you need to do that? Don't do that. That's silly. You too mature and too old and too grown for that. All you need to do is just let him know when he gets back, you want to have a serious talk about the party and blah, 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 because you don't want to do it and you don't want to be tempted and you don't want to be dating somebody that's going to bring that into your space. Because I always tell people, you are responsible for the energy you bring into someone's space. And if he then disrespects you in the regard that he did not even hear you say, I don't do that anymore. I don't want to do that anymore. And I don't care if he's new or old in the party scene. I don't really care. He did not listen to you. He disrespected you and he doesn't have your back. Okay. And I feel like he's not going to support you no matter what. So send this polite email. And then my friend, well, isn't that going to be like, I want to continue seeing him? I said, no, because after you send it, you're going to block his ass. And my friend said, oh my God, blocking is so immature. No, it's not. I don't want that energy in my space. So you basically, in a nice, unshady way, let him know. Because I told him at the end, say, well, we need to just talk because I'm not fully convinced. I need to go get my phone because I think I have it. Oh no, do I? Yeah, I do. I wrote it to my friend. I actually wrote it for him because I know, sometimes you don't trust your friends, and you have to truly, truly let people know what you are saying without saying it. And if they're not smart enough to read between the lines or get the social clues, that's their problem. So I said, let him know, enjoy your overseas trip. When you get back, I'm glad. I'd like to have an open and serious conversation about a few things, particularly partying. That's simply not a part of my life anymore, and I have no interest in revisiting. My focus is on my sobriety, and I need to be with someone who respects that. We should discuss this further when you return to ensure we're aligned, because if not, this may not work. I want to clarify where things stand regarding your relationship status. I'm not entirely convinced. Let's talk when you're back. And I said, block them. I said, now that's not being shady. That's letting them know what you know and without accusatorying someone. Accusatorying is not a word. I know it. But anyway, without accusing people. Because see, when you accuse people, that's when they get on the defensive. And see, when you smart, like I am, you write stuff like that and then you block their butts. Because then you had the last word in a very intelligent way. And if they don't read between the lines, that you ain't going to have access to me ever again. And I said, well, did you send it? Because I've been told my friend just to make sure that my friend did it. I said, can I share your screen? Share your screen. Let me see you send and send. He sent it. I said, now block him. He said, what? I said, yeah, now block him. He disrespected you, and he also put your sobriety at jeopardy. And yes, he might have said he was embarrassed. He has every right to be embarrassed. Don't be messing with people's sobriety. And my point of this whole twisted truth, your gut is the answer. You don't need to be validating what you feel. If your stomach is uneasy, if you have a thought, yes, do what I do. I do a little research, but it is not for you to have to put all your cards on the table. That's how you play this dating game. Unfortunately, it is a game because people ain't truthful. I agree with my best friend on that. People are not truthful, but you don't need them to tell you the truth. When God or whatever you believe, the spirits or whatever, are on your side, I'm telling you, when you have good intentions and you are trying to do the right thing, your stomach, your mind, your whatever, the uneasiness will always come in to protect you. Your gut is your protection. And so when you feel it, and you do a little research and you see a picture and you still feel it, like I told him, if you felt it back then and you still feel it then it's true. And you don't need to have a conversation. You handle it the way I did. Send it in a nice little thing. I didn't accuse anyone. I just said, like I told him, you're not accusing anyone. You're just letting him know. And in the story, blocking is not for children. It is for you and protecting your space. I am over the philosophy that blocking is for children or that's being immature. No, people are not, they don't take that energy of you are responsible for the energy you bring into someone's space. And so you have to, because you don't put your space and your energy and your namaste energy in someone else's hands. You are the master of your life, okay, with the Lord or whatever you believe. You are the master. So what that means is you have to protect you. And blocking people who don't respect you, who don't follow your rules, who don't believe what you say, don't need to be around you, don't need to have access to you. And that is how I end this conversation. And now, if your friend ain't telling you that, then I would question your friend. But I'm going to be your friend and tell you the truth. Your gut is your answer, and you don't need validation. If you feel it, then you walk away. You gut their ears, and you just say, thank you, and be grateful that you have that spirit that moves you in the right direction. Don't let people sucker you. But, well, ain't this been a bit of a conversation? Well, anyway, y'all out here, stay blessed because you are already blessed. And remember to love yourself, trust yourself, and believe in yourself. And the one here is trust yourself and trust your gut and know that that's a higher power talking to you. Okay, now I'm going to now go and finish my little kinky cocktail. And I'm going to go and put all this stuff together. And I hope you learn something. And I hope you share this with a friend. Even if you don't want to have that conversation with your friend, send them this. I'll have it for them. And then they can call you back and say, are you trying to tell me something? And I would say, yes. Everybody, have a great day, night, whatever you're doing at this hour, this time. Remember to stay blessed and be safe and trust your gut. That's a wrap for this episode of The Twisted Truth with Corey Wesley. If you've enjoyed today's conversation, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share the show with someone who needs a fresh perspective. Remember to stay curious, stay bold, and always remember this: the truth isn't always what it seems. Until next time, keep thinking, keep questioning, and keep twisting the truth. See you soon.